My parents want my sister to walk down the aisle at my wedding first, so my husband pretends to go along. He gets them to pay for the most expensive wedding, and their plan is ruined. My parents loved my sister more. I don't mean in subtle ways either. If my sister accused me of something, they'd believe it and punish me. If I accused her, they wouldn't believe me. Even if there were undeniable proof, they'd still give her a lesser punishment and try to find a way to scold me in tandem. My birthday cake had to be a flavor she wanted. Hers did not, and my parents always denied knowing I didn't like that type of cake. They always bought her a bit more than for me. We went to where she wanted, even if it was an event that should be about me. My sister grew up spoiled and didn't like me. She just used me as a punching bag. Eventually, my mom came to talk to me about my impending graduation. She told me that since they were paying for my sister's college tuition, they had no money to pay for mine. So it would be better for me to start working immediately after graduation and wait until my sister finished uni to see if they could afford something for me. If I decided to stay home, I'd have to pay for all my stuff, some of the bills, and rent. I pointed out I could get student loans. Mom said yes, except no. That is because they were so caring towards me, and I had such bad judgment. They would decide if a college was worth my getting in debt or not. They had no idea about my grades and never believed in my capabilities. I never believed they would eventually pay it if I worked and waited for my sister to graduate. I had been preparing for college for a long time. I studied because I saw college as my only chance to be free. I worked my A's off and got a scholarship to a decent college. Knowing my sister would hate it, I put my achievements on social media at the same time I told them. I even forced myself to thank them in the post. They weren't happy but couldn't do anything. College was my savior. I started being happy. I met my husband around this time. My husband is the guy who claps back immediately. He loves drama and that he loves to resolve it. When we discussed marriage, we decided we didn't care much about the ceremony due to our budget, as we'd rather spend on a dream trip to Europe for our honeymoon. We sent out the engagement announcement and the save the date. My parents demanded to meet my man. After grumbling about not being okay with him, my judgment, etc., they proclaimed they would pay for my wedding. My sister would walk down the aisle at my wedding first, in a wedding dress. Their excuse was that it wasn't okay for a younger sister to marry first, so it was only fair if my sister had at least the experience of it, on my venue, with pictures being taken and the dress, and she'd have a cake later. My husband went back to my parents. He said he probed and thought I wouldn't be down with it. However, he didn't see the issue and would be down to helping them do it. He pointed out I don't like conflict, so if I was surprised by it, I might not throw a tantrum in front of all the people. Thus, he suggested a compromise. They'd help pay for stuff. This way, I would feel pressure not to say anything, as I'd be grateful for the help. And so began the months of deception, where my parents and sister thought they were tricking me, and my husband and I were milking them. Rather than pay for the wedding and lay low, my parents wanted input in everything. We'd go to check the drink and menu options. We'd accept the lowest priced option. My husband would then secretly take my sister there to try it out, then sigh and say it's a pity we don't want to abuse my parents' goodwill. Cue my sister demanding my parents pay for the best. My parents would then tell me not to worry, and they'd pay for the most expensive. The same was done with the photographer and flowers. My husband handed my sister a bouquet of the flowers we wanted, then sadly expressed how I wanted some other tasteless flowers. My parents told me they wanted us to go with the flowers and they'd pay for it. We had this extravagant wedding and barely spent a dime. We called it back pay for emotional damages from my parents. The plan my parents, sister, husband had come up with was to wait until everyone was seated. Since the bride always comes out late, they'd have my sister arrive at that precise time and walk down the aisle. As the guests and my parents arrived, all they could see was a woman with a list of names to check. Only after my parents arrived did we bring out security. We told him not to allow my sister in. Soon, the time arrived. My parents got a text. My sister was less than 5 minutes away, so my dad told people to start. My bridesmaids had been told to follow his lead beforehand, so they obeyed without checking with me. After they all went down and took their places, my dad stood up at the entrance as if waiting for me. During this time, a friend who was not at the wedding party texted me to get ready. Well, as soon as my dad took his position, the bridal song started playing, and the doors opened. I come in. My dad looked aghast at me being there. Group chat begging my family for help, as I was now being harassed by them constantly. He begged his family to help stop them from trying to ruin my honeymoon now that they had failed to ruin my wedding. My family assured him they'd take care of it, and indeed, since then, we've had silence. All in all, while I obviously would have preferred to have a normal, loving family at my wedding, at least for once in my life, they not only failed to ruin something meaningful to me, but I got them back.